Hello, hi, my name is Christine Facey, and this is about an experience I had working at Audie Terrace in Brantford. I applied for a job and they called. I went in for the interview and then I was told to come back for orientation. I went in for the orientation and there was a lot of us and we have to sit into this room. So we sat in the room and the DOC come in with all her binders or whatever she come in with. And she spoke to us and told us after the orientation, she's going to be giving out jobs that she has that's not filled. Okay, we sat there and we went through the orientation. And after the orientation, they start to pack up everything and saying okay, like their goodbyes or whatever they're doing, leaving. So I voiced my opinion and said, you said you were going to be giving out the jobs after the orientation. She goes, oh, okay. So she went back in her, opened back her binder, and she started to give out the jobs. So I started to put up my hand from the first beginning. Each one I put up my hand for, she never looked my way. Anyways, she gave all the jobs out except one. Then she pointed at me. I was happy now, I'm getting something. So she said, this is a 4-hour shift and it's to look after this boy. Okay. So I took it and that's what I get, was a job to look after a little child. Anyways, I got the job. I intend to put out 100% to look after this kid. The child was around 9 or so, but he was 20-something years old, but he looked around 9. He was drooling all over the place, crawling all over the floor. So I had to start looking after him. So I did take 100% care of him. Anyways, each one of the girls that's supposed to take over whenever I'm supposed to be off, they always trying to find a way for me to work the shift. They don't want to do it. Anyways, I will do it. I do it because I want the hours and I have children to take care of. So they would exchange shift with me, example, and then they wouldn't work them. They would slot me in somehow, which it's illegal, but I needed the hours, so I do it. So it put my hours up. Anyways, one day, a line came up part-time. I applied for it, but I heard one of the nurse wanted the DOC or whatever, not the DOC, but the one next to the DOC. She wanted to give it to somebody else. That's what I hear. But anyways, I applied because I had more seniority. Anyway, I'm walking up the hallway one day, pushing a resident in her wheelchair towards the nurse's station. And I heard a voice came at me, goes, when did you apply for the job? I was stunned because it got me off guard. Didn't know what she was saying. So I said, excuse me? Why did you apply for the job? So I said, because I need a line. She go, oh, that's how I got this job. Anyways, another story. There is a nurse that they had there working there, and she would come to me with this pity party all the time. How her life was going, and she needed help and needed money. She was borrowing money off me for help, for something. Really didn't have it, but I took it off a card of mine and I loaned it to her. She said she was going to pay it back when she get her paycheck. She come back again and she borrowed and I lent her. I noticed she wasn't paying it back. So I keep asking. Didn't give it back at all. So I got a line over the specialty side. It's a new side. And she was a nurse over there. So I noticed she started treating me bad, like the way she speak to me in a rude manner. She asked me to do anything, it would be very rude. The way raised her voice at me, and the way she spoke to me, the way other people was able to do things to get their work done at a certain time, but I wasn't allowed to. One day, a nurse called Lisa, she had long blonde hair, beautiful lady, passed by, heard her, spoke to me in a rude way. Lisa spoke to her and told her not to speak to me like that. But it wasn't the end of it. She was always just nasty to me from then on. So I had to actually before that, I went to the DOC and I spoke to the DOC, tell her my problem. She said, what am I coming to her for? After I finish. So it get me marveled, who am I supposed to talk to? So I went away feeling hopeless. So I said, the only thing I could do is try to find another line somewhere else. So this was my full-time line. So I had to go part-time because of the way I was being treated by this nurse, and took a nighttime line part-time to get away from the situation, because I feel like I had no voice. It was hard for me to stand up most of the time because I wasn't really getting anywhere. I feel like I was being shrink inside because as a child growing up, it was abuse I went through. It was a lot of beating I went through. It was a lot of boxing in my face I went through. So this abuse still just bring me down to another level. It was hard to deal with. So I had to take a part-time line night. So I did that until I could come back to an afternoon shift, full-time. But anyway, the reason why I'm actually saying something is because I know there's not just me who went through things like that. And I know there is other people out there who is going through the same thing. And I would like to have a voice for them. And I would like to say to people, treat people with respect, with love. You never know where they're coming from, what life they lived before. You don't know me. You see me as a person, but you really don't see me as a person. You talk down to me. Why? I'm there to make a living, to support my children. But anyways, all I want to say is, please treat people with respect, with love, and be kind to people. They may have an accent, but we're just children like you once, and you never know where and what situation we're coming from. Some people cannot stand up to bullies and racism. I know that was racism, but there's nothing I could do because I know not where to go to get help. And the place I know where to go to get help turning me down. So people out there who's bosses, who's DOCs, who's managers, treat your worker with respect. You can get more work out of a person when you treat them good than treating them bad. People are here just like you. You got children out there. We got children out there. We want to see them succeed too. Start treating people with love. Love goes a long way. Respect goes a long way. Kindness goes a long way. Start treating people with respect. Give people love, and you will see what this world become. Thank you.